Welcome to Breaking News. I'm John Gilbert, and I'm John Gilbert. Hey, does anyone know where Hollis is?
Hey! Hey!
Hollis?
I'm over here.
Can you come here?
What? Okay, fine. Did you guys start without me?
Yeah,
What's this?
Show.
Have you seen the movie Coco? Amazing. You're gonna f***ing love it. Absolutely stunning. But you should probably bring a box of tissues though.
Is it sad?
No, but Lowe's ran out of TP in the BR. My B.
Do you ever check your email?
Yeah, quite often actually. You got to keep up with all those JCPenney's exclusive deals on nightgowns. You know.
Well, then you should know that you were supposed to be here over an hour ago.
Ooh. What's an hour in the life of a flower?
What? Also, an hour?
What's a second in the time of Brexit?
Now you're just spiraling.
Honestly, big boy, I marked emails from you and anything having to do with this dumbass show as spam years ago.
Why would you do that?
Let's see, because I don't care about anything. It's kind of my whole vibe, you know? Look at my loosely tousled hair. Look at this bruise I got from hopping the fence of Daniel Day-Lewis's log cabin.
Hollis, I've been wanting to say this for a while now. I don't like your vibe.
What the f*** did you just say to me, John?
I don't know.
If you're gonna say something, spit it out. John?
It just feels like you get away with being unprofessional because of your chill and sexually intriguing persona.
Sexually intriguing?
Yeah. You know, like, how I never know whether or not we're gonna, like...
We're not! Definitely! Jesus Christ! How many? No! End of the line! No, never! God damn it!
I just think...
Don't think! Don't blink! Don't you wink at me, boy, don't wink.
Yeah, sure. All I'm saying is, I've never actually seen you take responsibility for any of your actions.
How dare you?
It's true. For example, I am currently waiting on an apology from you for something you did to me recently. Is it A, pouring hot syrup down my pants right before my big badminton game?
I think you mean bad mittens.
Putting out an Amber Alert for me because I was dating a girl named Amber.
Yeah.
We broke up after they found me.
John, her name was Amber.
Or C, giving me hepatitis.
Hey! You said you wanted a homemade tattoo of MLK.
No, I wanted a tattoo of milk to remind myself that I might be lactose intolerant and I should be careful.
Okay, well, is it A, B, or C?
You mean which option am I waiting on an apology for?
No, your hepatitis.
You don't get to know that, Hollis. And actually, it's all of the options. I am waiting on an apology from you for so many things. But you keep getting away with immaturity because it's your vibe.
Oh, John, you poor chalk drawing of a boy. I get away with literally so much more than that.
Pray tell, what?
Well, for starters, every week I come into your house and shave off your eyebrows while you're sleeping. Then I put them over my own eyebrows and I pretend to be you. Then I put them on my upper lip and I pretend to be a man. Then I super glue them back onto your brow bone.
Hollis, that's...
I'm not done. Every time your pocket is open and you aren't looking, I stick a dirty tissue in it. What is in the tissue? Different every time.
Is this grape jelly?
I'm not done. I enrolled you on Megan's list, which I thought was Angie's list. I was just trying to send you on some plumbing gigs.
What's Megan's list?
Well, let's just say you're registered as a sex offender in a few choice states.
Hollis, how am I supposed to apply for jobs and grad school if I'm a registered sex offender?
Oh, John, this is America. Being a monstrous sexual deviant has never held any man back. Look at the f***ing president. Anyway, I guess I'm starting to understand why you're a little bit miffed with me.
Hollis, this is what I'm saying. Accountability should apply to everyone. We're seeing a lot of people in positions of power finally being held responsible for their inappropriate actions in the entertainment industry lately, but it goes further than that. Politicians need to be held accountable for their actual actions, sexual misconduct, and abuse of power. Journalists need to be held accountable for letting politicians off the hook and for how they handle their role as the public's frame for information.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but when you get mad, your pores get big.
Accountability is about owning up to what you've done and being an adult. If you can't own up to the fact that you screw up sometimes, whether it's on purpose or not, you're just going to end up hurting people and contributing to a dangerous cycle of immaturity. Are you getting it?
What? I was thinking about this episode of CSI Miami I saw the other day. God, intense. Crazy stuff.
Hollis, we all need to be held accountable for our actions. Otherwise, society will never learn from its mistakes. Haven't you ever been at a family dinner and someone says something kind of off color and they just get away with it because they're old or they don't know better?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Doesn't it suck?
Well, it's usually me, but I guess in theory, maybe. I don't know.
You make me so upset. I am truly sad and angry with you.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Hold me accountable?
I'm trying.
Look, John, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And I'm a very, very old dog. I am close to death, John.
You know what, Hollis? Challenge accepted. I'm going to hold you accountable to something by the end of this episode.
Sure thing, scraggly son of a small seed.
Sure thing, Hollis.
Here's the news. A lobster was found off the coast of Canada with the Pepsi logo tattooed onto its claw. Asked to explain, the lobster responded, "They were out of Coke." Get it?
2 men were arrested for having heroin in a car that was parked in the police chief's parking spot. The real question is, where did the police chief make this arrest? Park to make this arrest.
Sahar Taber, a 29-year-old Iranian woman, has had 50 surgeries to make herself look like Angelina Jolie. I want her doctor's number because mine won't let me proceed with my plan to become a real-life version of Chef Boyardee.
Irish villagers have been complaining that the local Viagra factory's fumes have been giving them boners. The villagers first noticed something was off when math teachers couldn't convince any of their students to stand up and do problems in front of the class.
To celebrate victory over University of Alabama in the Iron Bowl this weekend, Auburn University fans threw hundreds of rolls of toilet paper all over their Alabama campus, reminding Americans everywhere of that age-old saying, if you need to take a shit, do it in Alabama.
The GOP passed sweeping tax reform in the early morning on Saturday, December 2nd, which marks the first time that major tax cuts for the wealthiest of Americans came at the exact same time as Paul Ryan.
Like, coming. Yeah. Doctors recently removed 263 coins and 100 nails from a man's stomach. Normally, I'd be confused as to why someone would eat 12 pounds of metal unless the other option was my wife's lasagna.
A new report from scientists claims that glitter is a major environmental hazard. Our thoughts and prayers are with Adam Lambert during these trying times.
A new study from the Pediatrics Journal shows a significant increase in the use of vape pens by teenagers, prompting the FDA to release a statement saying, "It was cooler when you guys just smoked weed."
The White House is currently discussing plans to replace Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. But where are they going to find another racist old white dude?
New research shows that dolphins become more verbal after being exposed to microdoses of LSD. In other news, dolphins are developing strong opinions that you don't agree with about Jimi Hendrix.
Bitter cold and snow are threatening parts of the eastern United States. In other news, my mother's in town. I love you, Mom.
Yeah, that was harsh, dude. Jeez, your mom's great. And that's the news. Hey, John. John, have you heard about this recent controversies in the jousting community? It's all over the jousting headlines, just about every headline of the jousting trade publications. Crazy stuff.
Sure have, Hollis, and I think it's atrocious.
Yeah. Like, John, that's nice and all, but you don't joust, so how much can you really care, you know?
Of course I care. What exactly happened again?
Jesus, John, you clearly haven't been reading my Facebook statuses.
Hollis, I unfollowed you because I didn't need to see a recipe for pulled pork sandwiches every day at 4 o'clock. It was too much for me to handle. Pulling is not the only way to prepare pork.
Yeah, well, John, you missed out on some pretty important stuff. I'm not all pulled pork sandwiches, just mostly. And for your information, it was revealed recently that one of the most prominent jousters in the modern jousting scene has not only been causing physical trauma to her opponents, but killing them.
Wow. That is horrible. Are they still letting her compete after all this?
Oh! Not only are they still letting her compete, but we have an exclusive interview with her. Please welcome Beeble the Unbreakable, a modern medieval murderess.
Wait. You're letting a killer on the show?
Here she is.
Hello, John. Hollis. Old friends. Good to see you. I'm so glad to be here promoting my new jousting tour and album.
Okay, actually, Beeble the Unbreakable, we've asked you on here today to discuss your recent manslaughter.
Alleged manslaughters. There's simply no definitive proof that I have ever maimed or killed anyone, much less a fellow jouster.
How about the multiple fatalities caught on tape in HD, including audio of your victim's screams? Also, what's up with the blood on your hands?
What? These? They're just raspberry preserves. I make them myself in spare time. I'm also here to promote my fruit preserve business. You see, I'm not some bloodthirsty criminal. I'm like your mom. Your mom could never hurt anyone.
My mom is a convicted murderer.
So, Beeble, what's your explanation for having murdered a bunch of people with an enormous pointy stick?
Well, John, I just have to say that that is a really inappropriate question, that you're even addressing these allegations when they haven't even been corroborated.
Beeble, we have eyewitness accounts of you maiming these people.
Look, John, it's joust at your own risk. Everyone in the jousting and medieval reenactment communities should realize that they're working in risky environments. Javelins exist, but that's not their fault. We just wield them. Everybody knows that they're dangerous, okay? Just like everyone knows that short circuit is racist.
Look, Beeble the Unbreakable, be that as it may, it doesn't answer our questions. Let's set the fact that you've already killed aside. Are you going to kill again?
That is such an inappropriate question. If you'd asked me if I'd killed before today, I would have said no. I didn't think I killed anyone. Even if their eyes did go dead and their pulses stopped and their blood congealed, I just didn't know.
Kind of sounds like the fact that they were dead was pretty obvious.
Look, John, that is just all so far in the past. Who can remember? I mean, why are we even talking about this now, okay? Whether or not they're dead.
Oh, so they are.
I just think it's not as big of a deal, okay? Like, even if I did kill them, they're already dead. So, like, you can't go back, am I right?
So you're admitting that you killed these people?
Kill. That word, Hollis. I have established that I am an honorable knight. I have won so many jousting competitions and done so many good things for jousting. If my javelin was killing people, I wasn't aware. How was I supposed to know that me maiming these people made them die, okay? If they died, it's like not my problem. It's just because they were stupid enough to die. Like, if you can't handle the possibility of a javelin tip that's been whittled down to become a razor and deadlier than a coconut crab's claws, piercing and scouring your torso, don't you? Get involved in the jousting community. Okay?
Okay, let's just get this straight. Even after all of this, you're still jousting?
Yes. Like I said earlier, I do have a new jousting album coming out.
What is a jousting album?
It's 40 minutes of alternating grunts and screams from Mercy set to a basic EDM track.
Beeble, you have inflicted so many injuries. You have abused the power you have. You're no better than the politicians and the celebrities who use their fame and money to get away with sexual harassment and assault.
Doesn't that bother you? Not only as a prominent jouster, but as a woman, or even just as a human being. Yeah. Can't you just apologize?
Funny that you mentioned that. My publicist stayed up all night writing this apology, and I'd like to read it tonight. These stories are true. At the time, I said to myself that what I did was okay because I never showed someone my javelin without asking first, which is also true. But what I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to be mutilated by your javelin isn't a question. It's a predicament.
Wait, Beeble, who is your publicist?
Oh, my publicist is a moldy corn cob wearing rain boots. He also works for Louis C.K.
Which is why your statement matches word for word with Louis C.K.'s.
I'm gay!
Beeble, you can't just admit that objectively. Slaughtering people with a javelin is... Why can't you just admit that it's wrong? Come on, can't you just take responsibility for what you've done?
No.
Beeble the Unbreakable, everyone. You ever thought about it, Hollis?
Thought about what?
Killing for sport? What? No. I mean, like, jousting's fun, but...
Did you just answer your own question?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, cool, but listen, the only medieval activity that I'd be down to clown with is witchcraft.
Oh, why is that?
Because of my natural abilities. Ready? Watch this. Kill them with kindness, spray them with mace. Shh. Give my pal Jono a stupid old face. It worked.
God damn it.
Yeah. What about you, Sport? You seem like a jousting kind of guy.
Who? Me? I could never. I'm not nearly coordinated enough, and I firmly believe that you should never commit to a job that you aren't qualified for.
Ooh, what an interesting and totally useless mantra.
Why would you say that?
John, tons of people do jobs they aren't qualified for. I am literally the understudy for my church's pastor. I don't go to church. I'm also a part-time foster mom.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Take some of today's journalists. They are completely in over their heads when it comes to combating the absurdity our political climate has been serving up.
Yeah, exactly, Airbud World Cuck. Hey, did you hear about the Dumbo writer for the New York Times that set out to write an expose about modern day Nazis but ended up glorifying them?
Not only have I heard about it, but we actually have an exclusive segment with the journalist himself.
We do? Damn. This show pulls strings. Hey, can we get Big Sean as a musical guest?
No.
Nice. Here's the segment.
There you go.
I'm downright surprised. The original intent of the article was to showcase normalized hatred in America, but then I got lost in those deep, luscious eyebrows and forgot to add a sardonic undertone. He's just so normal, like a next-door neighbor or bass guitarist ex-lover. As a journalist, sometimes you get so lost in a human connection that you forget you're interviewing a Nazi, which just so happened to be what I did.
Readers called for me to lose my job. My windows were soaped. I was barked at on the street by a dog, but if he could read, he would have been miffed too.
But I'm here to atone for my sins. Let me start off right off the bat by just saying that I hate Nazis. Clearly I got it a little wrong last time, focusing a bit too much on his beautiful Twin Peaks tattoo and love of Seinfeld. But I've heard your messages loud and clear. I'm going to develop a new article, one that is the hard-hitting story against the alt-right that America deserves.
Hey, hi, it's Richard from Wednesday. Yeah, I had such a fun time too. You know, I was actually wondering if you would want to meet up again, you know, to do another interview for work and stuff. Oh, Tony, you're so bad. Because he's a Nazi. Yeah? Uh-huh. All right, that sounds great. We'll get some food. See you around.
Ugh, he's so bad. I hope I can take this time to redeem myself in the eyes of the American public as a journalist by exposing this guy for what he really is.
In my last article, I included a quote from Tony where he said that Hitler was just a nice guy who really believed in what he stood for. Critics found this inclusion irresponsible and another step towards normalizing Nazism. But this time, I'm gonna get it right.
So tell us your views as a Nazi.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just speak to the microphone.
Sure. Hitler was a pretty nice guy. I mean, did you know that he was an artist?
Oh. God damn it, I did it again! And I published it in the New York Times.
I had to condition myself to gravitate towards the hate. This time I decided to use the power of the internet to go incognito. Tony had noted to me his affinities for shows such as Seinfeld and Twin Peaks. He said that the last TV show to portray a white patriarch in a positive light was King of the Hill.
I just realized that friendly next door neighbor Nazi type of guys watch just as much TV as the rest of us.
So for my next hard-hitting piece, I decided to make a Facebook group to sniff out the worst of these Nazi types. Gilmore Girls for Nazis.
Within 12 hours of founding the page, it had 750 likes, as well as a series of earth-shattering threads of racism, homophobia, transphobia, and anti-Semitism. It was all horrible, disgusting things that no one should ever have to see.
I screenshotted those threads and posted them to the New York Times the next morning with no title, caption, or writer's notes.
I still felt like I was struggling to uncover the truth about the impact of people like Tony in everyday American life. How could his perspective be one so widely regarded? What made him turn towards such strongly hateful views? I decided I'd go shopping for Tony. You know, try to buy him horrible items he'd absolutely hate.
Oh, perfect. A 100% cashmere sweater right in his size. It's just as ugly as his worldviews. He's gonna hate it. Now next, I'm gonna find something that expresses the New York Times' commitment to not normalizing alt-right viewpoints. Maybe this peach-scented candle will do the trick. You know, it's people like Tony that make history repeat itself. It's just... Ooh. He's gonna hate this. Oh, it's so bad.
As I was leaving the store with my arms full of terrible items to really stick it to this Nazi, my journalistic sensibilities started tingling. I knew just what to do, so this follow-up wouldn't inadvertently give this guy's message a platform.
I got you a present.
Oh, what is it?
It's a platform.
Oh.
Today, you're head writer of the New York Times. Get up there. Yeah, see you dumb Nazi how it feels. Hope you don't cripple under the burdening pressure.
I mean, aren't people working right now?
Who cares about their normie thoughts? This is your time for your special brain to shine. This is gonna get him.
Wait, are you really gonna let this guy speak?
Nah, that's exactly what I want him to think. The readers are gonna hate this. You're all gonna hate this. See? You did hate it.
Why wouldn't we? You gave a Nazi a free rein to speak his horrible rhetoric.
Yeah, but it showed how bad he is. Look how much I hurt his cause.
We already know he's bad. He's a Nazi. You just helped him, like, so much.
Huh.
I learned some answers to questions of journalistic ethics through this whole thing. Writing an article where I focus a bit too much on a Nazi's love for Italian cooking and Nintendo Wii games, bad. Normalizing Nazi rhetoric with a homey depiction so Nazis across America read my article and think, dope, bad. Should I shirk my obligation as a New York Times writer to deliver the truth to the American people based on how gosh darn cute one guy/Nazi is? Probably not. Do my feelings fog my ability to present this story with the proper venom it deserves? Wait a second.
To have my audience understand my enchantment, I have to bear my feelings. Which is why I've published a complete transcript of every single one of my love letters to Tony Haverter since our first week of meeting in the New York Times.
Even the most morally sound can be swayed by a stupid, flashy smile. Love is love. Wait, I lost it again. Nazis are bad. That's what I meant.
What a dumbass, right?
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
Ooh.
But during this episode, we've explored a lot of unique perspectives dealing with the concept of accountability in the world at large. But we have yet to talk about a group that sometimes gets a pass for these sorts of things due to their age. I'm talking, of course, about the elderly.
The used tissue paper of people.
You're going to eat crow when you find out who our guest is, Hollis.
Is it you? Because I'm pretty sure you legally have to own a Life Alert necklace to use the phrase eat crow.
Here to give his unique take on life and the world at large, Hollis's very own grandfather, Grandpa Quat.
What the? John? Grandpa!
What's up, Hollis?
What is my grandfather doing here? How did you get here?
Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter how he got here. The only thing that matters now is that we explore his insights on today's socio-political climate. So, sir,
What?
how does it feel to be back on a college campus?
Oh, you mean a safe space?
Oh, Johnny boy, I suggest we quit while we're all still ahead.
Come on, cut him some slack. He came here to speak his mind. Let's at least hear what he has to say. So, what exactly did you mean by that, Grandpa?
You know, safe spaces. I mean, gadzooks. Kids these days can't take a punch. You should be ready to be jumped at all times.
What do you think a safe space is?
Like the thing between North Korea and South Korea.
Johnny boy, you kid with the kite on the cover of an issue of Highlights magazine. He thinks that a safe space is the same as the demilitarized zone on the 38th parallel.
What do you mean? There's a difference.
It doesn't matter. Let's get this crazy train back on track. What's something you miss about back in your day?
You know, when you wanted something done, you did it yourself. None of this having everything handed to you nonsense. If you didn't want a poopy butt, you had two options for wiping. A leaf and a rifle to shoot the dingleberries off. You missed hemorrhoids. None of this bidet bullshit.
Well, Grandpa, you know that's not entirely true. Like, remember when you used to scatter a couple of 100 paper clips around your house and then make me walk around and pick them up with a weak magnet?
How are those things? I seriously don't know what
you asked for this, Chalk Boy. Okay?
Can we get this interview back on track? I have people to be, places to meet.
I'm not exactly sure that's how the phrase goes, Grandpa, but you've got a point. What's your favorite thing about this generation, I guess?
Oh, Chipotle.
Wait for it.
Yeah, when I was growing up, no fast food chain would dare to sell human meat.
Since when does Chipotle sell human meat?
Secret menu, jizz stain.
That's the most amazing thing I've ever heard you said.
So now you're ganging up on me with your quirky, somewhat deranged grandfather who just confessed to, at the very least, having some knowledge of Chipotle cannibalism.
Righto, you large milky fetus.
Milky fetus? Why, that's my favorite kind of candy bar. I'm gonna eat you.
Grandpa, this is what I've been missing from my entire life. Mutual distaste for the human embodiment of the term milquetoast. Like, I don't even know anything about you. What's your story, dude?
Just for the record, I'm no longer on board with any of this.
We don't care.
So, you know ceiling fans?
Yeah. For some reason, you had like 30 of them around your comically small house. Yeah.
Exactly, sweet child. Huh? So I used to make ceiling fans for Bond villains. You know, I worked with all the big names. Dr. No, Goldfinger, Odd Job, Jaws, Boris Gorshenko. I could go on.
You need not.
Keep going.
So I do all this painstaking work for all these guys, making fans that spin this way and that way and have blades at the end that Bond couldn't possibly escape. I mean, I did it all. But one day, I get this task to build a fan out of lasers, and I'm like, a nerd alert over here. But apparently, Bond villains aren't exactly raved about for their sense of humor or sport. Needless to say, I get fired and end up selling mannequin arms on the streets of Cancun for the next 10 years to help support a small child army of pirates with laser pistols.
I never knew that you went through so much. Struggle.
Are you serious, Hollis? Man, this was supposed to be about accountability. How am I supposed to hold someone accountable for his beliefs when I literally think he's living in a fever dream? I was trying to make a point with this.
And what you
Did was make a family.
How did this end up bringing you two closer together?
Can it
Jizz
jizz
stain.
Grandpa Quat, everybody.
Bye, Grandpa. Oh, wow. That might be the most unconventional relationship in my life.
Almost as unconventional as us?
What?
But you know, as unconventional as a bus, you know?
As unconventional as a bus?
Yeah. Like, when you think about it, buses are pretty unconventional. Like, if God wanted us to keep us in a sweaty tube, he would have put wheels on caves from the beginning. We'll be right back after this convenient commercial break.
Lauren, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready to host Good Morning Emerson, of course.
Good Morning Emerson? What's that?
It's the best morning show ever that's on Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m.
Wow, how can I work on this?
Yeah, let's get going. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather.
That guy is almost as crazy as my other grandpa.
How crazy is he?
Well, my other grandpa is so fucking crazy that he once had an orgy on a water slide.
I mean, that's not that crazy.
But the water wasn't running.
Then oh my God!
Yeah. Anyway, John, let's get serious for a second.
I am always serious. At my aunt's funeral, I was told to lighten up.
Great. And just stay as seriously as you usually are while I say this. John, I'm sorry.
What?
This is me, Hollis Westling, apologizing to you, John Gilbert.
I don't understand.
I'm taking responsibility for all the times I've offended you or anyone else in the cast and crew or my family or the valet at my local Applebee's.
Hollis, Applebee's doesn't have a valet.
Exactly. Yeah, I've made mistakes. Okay, that's why I would like to officially issue an apology to the following people, places, and things. Flo from Progressive. I judged you too quickly, thought you were selling tampons, I'm sorry. To my neighbor Kate. I'm sorry that I shower with the window open and that there is also a shower in every room of my house. To the concept of genital herpes. I'm sorry I didn't take the threat of you seriously and introduce you to all my friends. Next one's for all my friends. Sorry you had to find out this way.
Hollis?
To the Sahara Desert. I didn't believe in you up until yesterday, and that probably hurt. I'm sorry.
Hollis, it's nice that you're apologizing, but do you have any plans to make reparations?
What?
Reparations. You can't just apologize and expect your past behavior to be totally excused. You have to learn from your mistakes, change your behavior, and make things right.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on.
What are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here.
Hollis, what's going on?
I am nice.
No.
John, where did you get your great suit? Men's Warehouse, it looks sharp.
I take it back. I don't like this.
Just trying to spread a little holiday cheer. Speaking of, how would you feel about starting a charity for the amputee orphans who can't afford Christmas ornaments?
How will they hang them?
John, that's wildly offensive.
Who are you?
A better person, better than I ever dreamed I could be. Do you want to go do karaoke after this? Ooh, we can do a duet of I Got You, Babe. I'll even let you be Sunny.
Stop this! This isn't you! This isn't the Hollis I fell in love with!
Wait, what? That's not on the prompter, and you never go off prompter.
The Hollis I know would never let me be Sunny. She would emasculate me and tell me my hair looked stupid and make me walk all the way to the farmer's market to get pasteurized juice.
I love me some pasteurized juice.
You're not nice. You're a lot of things. Problematic, zany, wildly unambitious, and arsonist. But you've never been nice. And that's okay, because those other things are the things I love about you.
You keep saying love.
Yes, Hollis, I love you. My little Virginia heart can't take it any longer. All season, you've been driving me crazy. And at first, I thought it was because we were different in every single possible way, but now I know that there was more to it than that. All along, I just couldn't see it. So, I got this ring.
Whoa, what?
And I was gonna ask you to be my sweet summer bride. But there's a caveat. I can't do the nice. It's not you, it's not me, and it can't be us. I want you, Hollis.
That's the stupidest fucking thing you've ever said.
Exactly. You're back, perfect, just in time. Oh, Hollis, my beautiful gumdrop. You're gonna love the rolling hills of Virginia.
Oh, hell no, hell no.
Boys, come on in.
There are boys? Oh no. Oh
Hollis?
no. Oh no.
Hollis, I've waited a while to ask you this, but now, seeing as this is the last episode and we're not coming back as hosts next season, I have nothing to lose. This is the perfect time to end our platonic professional relationship riddled with sexual tension and start our life together as man and wife.
Oh no. No.
Hollis, Malia Obama Westling.
John, I was lying about that.
Will you make me the happiest man on earth
Oh my God.
and marry me?
John, we are coming back for next season. The producers decided yesterday.
What?
And I really don't want to marry you.
And that's our show.
There's always next season.
No.